Babylon in that area. Every time they see a black man, I feel murder. Say I was a truth and they carry a murder. It's the type of thing people say I'm not murder. Babylon in that area. Every time they see a black man, I feel murder. Say I was a truth and they carry a murder. It's the type of thing people say I'm not murder.
See what we got going on here with the people.
No idols, I disregard titles. To this game, come on, man, culture so vital. Step into the man of God is suicidal. Mike Tyson on the mic, blame it on your spinal.
Alright.
Can't see me through the eyes of that final.
Shout out to Lounge J. Brown. Word.
North, south, east, west. It really don't
in the building already.
Tons of stress, crooked police. When will it cease? Got me out here like, come on,
peace.
Let's get it together, you better, whenever we sever will be the moment that we got together. So let's try together. I make moves to show and prove that God is never barred from any room. So please don't assume you gotta see this.
Alright, I guess we live.
Babylon in that area. Every time I see a black man, I feel murder. Say I was a truth and they carry a murder. It's the type of thing people say they're not murder. Babylon in that area. Every time they see a black man, I feel murder. Say I was a truth and them carry a.
Alright, what's going on?
Yo, it's God is my witness. This beat straight sickness. Super swift flows out your born with the quickness.
Just listen to this right here. That's all.
Culture freedom back in this. I'm giving you the business. What? Everything that I touch turns to gold. This world is so cold for the poor lost souls. Thinking about stepping to free, slow your roll. Truth got stole out of Dead Sea Scrolls. It's time to get it right. But we living like, hey yo, God is the light that I need to make it through the night. But evildoers wanna fight like the Canaanite. I take possession of their land, they don't understand. It's all a part of the original plan, brought forth by the original man.
Word up.
Come again. I stand firm on this word, mine's never blurred.
Shout out to the Boulevard Monster for tuning in. Word up. Lounge Brown asked him I'm from Trent. Yeah, I'm from Trent. No doubt. Shout out to all my followers, man. Shout out to all my new followers, man. The Oddcast podcast just reached 1,000 followers, man. Thank you. Yeah, man. Shout out to my man Tylen. Like I said, man, we just reached 1,000 followers, y'all. That's big, man. That's big for us, at least, man. You know, we still up and coming.
Well, here's a big surprise. I'm never lacking no ball jacket. I spit the truth while you tell a million lies. Coaches on the rise.
Man, Trent is definitely a hip hop mecca, man. That's why, you know, I wanted to have brothers like I guess we having on tonight, man. Colt Free, man. He's a legend. Poor Ratchet's teachers, period. Legends.
Michael Jackson type spit coming off the wall.
Yeah. Come back with me, apple pie. Word, man. As y'all having guests, man, we gonna have the brother Culture Freedom on here, man, from PRT, you know. Hope y'all having a good week, man. You know what I mean? I am, man. I'm having a blessed week, man. I've been having a blessed week. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to Walter Wallace, man, who just lost his life, man. We lost another brother out here, man, to the police, man. Word. Just want to give some people some time to get up in here. Come on. Yeah, man. So, you know, shout out to all my YouTube followers. Don't forget to smash that like button when y'all watching this. Word. Like I said, man, we just reached 1,000 followers, man. Shout out to my boy Larry Nixon. Word up. Yo, yo. Peace, my brother. You already know. Word.
Come take charge. Why? This one just a section of perfection from P.R.T. Beyonce, they got me where they want me.
No doubt, man. I love that Holy and Elect album too, man. That was my shit. I'm definitely gonna ask him about that, man. And my man Larry Nixon, man, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love, man.
Long time no see. I'm still the same old guy, tired boy, see free. If you wanna test something, dummy, don't test me. We gon' clash real fast. In due time, you'll see that I'm one of the best. Yes, few times I can show it. Give me the right.
Like I said, shout out to Outstanding from the Boulevard Mossy. Shout out to the whole Boulevard Mossy. Razi, DJ Plex, Trenton's Bad Boy. Word. It's a trend thing tonight, man. It's definitely a trend thing tonight, man. I've been on some trend shit lately, man. Last couple episodes. Had YZ on here last week. Had Outstanding from the Boulevard Mossy on the week before, man. So, you know, I just been on some trend shit, man. Trying to just trying to tell our story, man. That's all, man. Shout out to Tammy Leader that just joined. Word. There's some new shit right here by Culture Freedom Noise playing in the background. Well, y'all know this one. Y'all already know this record, man. Jesus. Woo! Man, look. When this record came out, man, my city was on the map. Come on. Like I said, shout out to the whole Trent, man. Like I said, when this record came out, man, 90, 91, this video shot in Trenton, man, on the Trenton Makes Bridge. Man. Yeah. Y'all already know, man. Shout out to old Trenton, man. Just want to give a few more people some time to get in here, but like I said, we will have the brother Culture Freedom from the Poor Righteous Teachers will be in the building tonight with us. Appreciate the brother, man, for stopping through. Peace, peace.
Culture, man. I got one more track left. What's up?
Hold on now. Oh, okay, Lounge Brown. Okay, I thought you was from Trent, but you from Bristol? That's PA. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Word. So let me see, man. See if we can bring in the brother Culture Freedom real quick as his verse plays in the background. See if we can bring the brother in right now. Okay. Peace, peace.
Peace, what up, man?
Go free, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, man.
Okay, good, man. What's good with you, brother?
Man, you know, just living, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt, man.
Trying to stay above ground.
No doubt, man. Well, listen, man, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast with me tonight, man. You know what I mean? I appreciate you, you know what I mean, spending your time with me tonight, man. But I wanted to have you on the show, man, because, you know, like I said, I'm from Trenton, man. So I feel like we got a real rich history as far as the music game is concerned, man, especially in the early 90s, man, with you guys, man, Poor Ratchet's Teachers, man, you know what I mean? Salute to you guys, by the way, man. But I just, like I said, I just wanted the story to be told, man, because a lot of kids don't know, you know what I mean? And I just wanted to bring you on, man. So like I said, I appreciate your time, man, you know what I'm saying? So Oddcast Podcast, I want y'all to welcome the God, Culture Freedom, to the show, y'all. Word up. You know what I mean? Word. So yeah, man, you guys got a real deep, rich history, man. You guys are like legends in the game, man. And to my surprise, you got a lot going on right now as well, man. As far as music is concerned, man. I've been shout out to my man T Nitty, man. I've been listening to your videos, man, and I've been checking out your I think your latest project, Tools of the Trade.
Yeah, Tools of the Trade is just a solo thing that I was doing, you know, just some beats and stuff and some lyrics, you know, just kind of showing, you know, aspects of the hip hop game, you know, beat making, DJing, MCing, and stuff, just the fundamentals of rap and hip hop, you know, because, you know, as you know, hip hop is the culture and rap and DJing and all that is just a couple of the elements or the tools of the trade. So, you know, I just thought that title would be appropriate, you know what I mean, just to show that, you know, me as an individual, what I'm capable of doing solo, you know, so I just like, you know, Tools of the Trade, just, you know, that's it.
That's a dope title, man. But I want to get into all that later on, man. But can we talk about like your early history, man, and how you got started in the game? You know what I mean?
In the rap game?
Well, how you got started rhyming and, you know what I'm saying, all that.
Okay. Well, like most, you know, listening to, you know, a lot of classic artists like the Sugar Hill Gang, the Treacherous, Curtis Blow, and stuff like that. You know, just growing in the urban culture, you hear those different songs like Rapper's Delight, you know, Joint by the Funky Four plus one more, and just you know, just a whole array of different things, you know, and just picking it up because it's the language that we were speaking, just making it rhyme, you know. So it's almost like hearing yourself, you know. Before that, it was just like, you know, rock, you know, some R&B, but you didn't hear street culture, you know what I mean? The closest we had to that was like James Brown or whatever. So, you know, have you ever been over your friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good? Peas all mushy and the chicken tastes like
wood.
You know, we heard it. You know, we was repeating it until, you know, we figured out, hey, man, I could do this too.
Yeah.
So, you know, you go and write your little raps down like me and Wise was doing once we heard Run DMC.
Right.
Like, man, you know, we could do that. Let's try it, you know. So we was making our little demos here and there. Some of them my grandmother's house.
Okay.
Eventually, you know, we met back up later, and he was Wise Intelligent. I was Culture Freedom. He was rhyming with.
What year are we talking about? Not to cut your wisdom, but what year are we speaking of?
Like, I would say around 85-ish, around 85, like that, 85, 86.
Okay.
You know, get back up, and I was doing more so freestyling, and Wise was doing a lot of writing at that point, but I was still just freestyling, coming off the top of the head, you know, trying and stuff like that. We eventually start recording demos at my house, and then from there we start pursuing, you know, a record career, and you know, the rest was kind of history. You know, we linked up with a couple other brothers who had mutual interests. Eric IQ Gray, who started his own record label, was called Northside Records.
Northside Records, okay.
Tony D, who already was producing various artists around the Trenton area.
Right.
You know, so he had already had a deal on Tommy Boy, him and Gino, and he another artist called, another group called Too Cool Posse. one of the rappers' name was Marquise. I don't recall the other brother name, but one of the brothers' name was Marquise. They was from North Trenton as well.
Okay.
You know, we eventually had a little mock battle with him, and he was, you know, said he wanted to work with us. And, you know, we just started cutting demos at Epsilon Studio in Hamilton, New Jersey.
Okay.
And recorded Time to Say Peace and Butt Naked Booty. And then, you know, Eric put the record out eventually, and Red Alert heard it. Him and Chuck Chill Out, and, you know, a few other guys was playing it. And I think I heard Red Alert playing it. And he contacted us and, you know, start talking about a record deal. But, you know, it was just, you know, just regular, you know, street kids, man, you know, that was attracted to rap music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like I said, it was like people we knew. It was like hearing ourselves. And, you know, we thought we had a chance to kind of, you know, get in there and, you know, change our lives possibly, you know. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? It's just like most cats, man, you know, we saw ourselves in it. You know what I mean? And eventually we found a way to actually get in there, you know. But back then, you know, if you was nice on the mic, word traveled, and, you know, you had a better chance of getting a deal. Now it's like, you know, it's so many different people trying to do it because it's a big thing now. You know what I mean? But back then, you know, it was kind of frowned upon, you know what I mean, by society. It was, you know, more of a subculture than accepted as, you know, the worldwide culture, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, oh, you getting involved in rap, you know, you need to go to college, you know, there's not much of a future in that, you know, that's just a passing fad. So you really had to love it to get involved with it back then, you know.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, but we grew up watching it. I mean, the local people was like DJ Father Ramsey, Suicide Posse, you know, MCs like, you know, General Lee from off of 6th Street, MCs like Rajon, you know, from North Trenton, you know, who was a part of, you know, the God Squad. It was him, brother by the name of Ali, another brother by the name of DJ was Unique or U-Nice back then. You know, I was doing the beatbox for him.
Okay.
And you know, just stuff like that. They was a few years older, maybe 3 or 4 years older, but, you know, I would get up with them and kind of, you know, work out with them, back them up. So I kind of learned how to DJ and stuff like that, and how to kind of formulate songs and rhymes from being around them, stuff like that.
Right, right. I just want to say, during that time, man, Butt Naked Booty Blessed and Time to Say Peace, man, like those records right there made me, like, you know, made me feel proud to be from Trenton, man. It made me proud to be from the town. Definitely by the time Rock This Funky Joint came out, oh my God, I was going to school at Morgan State, so going down there in Baltimore and just hearing that record played, it just, you know what I mean, was just like, wow, just like I said, just made me proud to be from T-Town, man. So how did you get the name Culture Freedom? Because I feel like that's like one of the flyest, you know what I mean? That's like one of the flyest names like in the game. How'd you acquire that name?
I got that name from the 5%.
Right.
From the Supreme Mathematics. You know, it was the 4th degree in Supreme Mathematics, Culture or Freedom, or Culture Freedom. And I just, you know, back then or still today, you know what I mean? When you become a member of the 5% Nation, you know, you change your name, you get what is known as a righteous name. Okay. So that was the name I chose for myself. Because it was a lot of powers and equalities and, you know, everlasting and stuff like that. True. I many culture freedoms, you know. So I chose that name for myself, you know. I think it was back around during the same time, like 84, Yeah, around 84, I would say. 84 or 83.
Okay.
3, yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
As far as you guys' style, man, you and Wise, you guys always had like that kind of reggae, kind of Jamaican kind of flavor, man. How did you guys intertwine that in your music? And you know what I mean? Was that, are you guys, were you Jamaican or?
Well, once again, it was just a part of the culture. You know what I mean? Growing up in the area, everybody's there. You know, you got Puerto Ricans, you got Jamaicans, you know, you got those who were, you know, brought here on ships, you know, so you got everybody. So growing up, we always just big fans of dancehall music. You know, people, and Eka Mouse, Barrington Levi, Squiggly D, you know, all these different artists, you know, we grew up listening to. So it was like that, Kung Fu flicks, you know, stuff going all on at the same time. So quite naturally, you just start chatting and putting this stuff in there. You know what I mean? Why I was listening to all these different artists, you know what I mean? Being influenced, watching Sunsplash tapes, Sting tapes, you know, stuff like that, getting tapes from up New York, you know, various artists on it. And like Beanie Man when he was only like 12 years old, and you know, Fathead, and you know, Tennyson, you know, Sanchez, all these different artists, you know, Nicodemus, you know, so it was quite natural that we would mix a little of that in there. And plus, you know, you had a lot of artists who were actually Jamaican, like Heavy D, Busta Rhymes, you know, like that. And hip hop is basically like an Americanized form of dancehall. You know what I mean?
True.
Kirk, you know, he's Jamaican, you know, and bringing out the big sound sets and playing sound and all of that, you know, like reggae would be the equivalent of R&B, and then hip hop would be the dancehall version of it, you know?
Right.
So just a DJ, that's what they call over there. We call him an MC, but over in Jamaica, they call him a DJ.
Exactly.
You know, just get on the mic and chat, and then, you know, big the people up, make them feel irie. You know, we've always listened to it, man. So quite natural listening to it. You just vibe and you just mixing stuff. You know, what would that sound like? So it just came out in it. You had people like Masters of Ceremony that was down with Grand Poobah and them. You know, they was, you know, with your man, what's his name? Forgot his name, but the one cat used to come in chatting, bang diddly 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 Grand Poobah.
Oh yeah, I forget his name, but yeah, that's Masters of Ceremony, though.
Name Don Barron in the Masters of
Barron,
Ceremony.
exactly. True.
Come in, so it was always like a part of it, you know, singing, harmonizing, rapping, you know, stuff like that. So we just quite naturally, it just all blended in, you know, without trying. It just came out that way.
No doubt, man. No doubt. So, Poor Righteous Teachers, man. Another, I think that's like one of the dopest names for a group, man. And you mentioned earlier Run DMC. I always looked at you guys as like a kind of like a conscious, righteous Run DMC, man. The way you and Wise would go back and forth, you know what I mean? How did you guys come up with the name Poor Righteous Teachers? Like where did that come from?
That came from the 5% Nation as well. You know, that's a question that's asked in the lesson that says, who are the 5%? They are the poor righteous teachers.
Okay.
So that was kind of, you know, came natural. Once again, you know, it was like a no-brainer. You know, at the time, nobody really was, you know, putting it in their lyrics or putting it in their music. You know what I'm saying? You know, you had Rakim, you had Just Ice before us. You had Team, you know what I mean? And a few other brothers, you know, would kind of mention certain things. And if you was affiliated or associated with the 5%, you could hear it in the music. You know what I'm saying? So one of the first that just came out was just like, boom, you know, here it is. You know, this is who we are, kind of right up. We the poor righteous teachers, you know, and put it out there.
Right.
That's where the name came from.
No doubt. No doubt. Also, back then, I remember on that cover, man, for Time to Say Peace. Was it like a different DJ you guys had at the time, or was it a different? Did you guys have different members, or?
Well, when we first started out, like I said, Wise. Well, I don't know if I mentioned it. Wise was rhyming with another guy by the name of Godfather.
Okay.
And they were called the Magnetic Building Factors.
Wow.
You know? And I was kind of like solo doing my thing, DJing, rapping. I was just doing whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And eventually, me and Wise, like I said, we became the group. And it was another brother who lived next door to me by the name of Devon. His mother and my mother, they were good friends. We grew up in Devon land. And
Right.
he come by, you know, bring records, and we would kind of, you know, mix around and do whatever. So eventually he kind of, you know, became a part of the group and what we was doing. And started out together. And Shahi wasn't actually a part of the group at that point.
Right. Okay.
And, so we didn't have a record deal or anything. We was just kind of doing what we was doing. So the first demo we recorded, it was me, Wise, and DJ Devon.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, eventually, you know, he kind of went his way. We went our way. You know, it was one of those things to where we was, you know, brothers needed jobs and stuff like that. We was like 17, 18 years old. So we had to make some growth decisions.
Hey,
like,
man, I feel
going to college? Are we going to college? Are we doing this? We going to get a job? We going to do this and that? And he had some responsibilities he already had to take care of. You know, he had a young child and stuff like that. So, you know, working and stuff became more of a priority in his other business than actually making music. And I couldn't really blame him at the time because, you know, wasn't a deal in sight or none of that kind of stuff. So, you know, us grew apart. He went his way. We went our way. And but if you see on the first initial record that was on Northside, it was Divine. It'll say Culture Freedom, Wise Intelligent, and DJ Divine. And yeah, he was a part. You know, he was a part of the group at that point.
Okay.
And then we I would say later on that summer.
So let me cut you off. But what year are we in right now that you're talking about?
We're in like 89, something like that. It was around 80, you know, and yeah, it was like 89. I would say it was like 89.
Okay.
Yeah. And then eventually, you know, I met Shahi through Wise. I seen Shahi around DJing for like local groups and doing part here, but Wise kind of met him, was hanging out with him, and then he introduced me to him, and then we kind of clicked and gelled. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And we had made Rock This Funky Joint or anything like that at that point. You know, we still was trying to make more demos and stuff like that and get the music heard. Still kind of dreaming and hustling, you know, trying to get our stuff out there. So, yeah.
Okay. So you guys were signed to Holy Intellect came out. It was on Profile, right?
Yeah, that came out on Profile.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you guys acquire like that deal? I mean, because that wasn't like a small feat, man. I gotta, you know, I know y'all guys went through some, you know what I mean, went through some roadblocks and things like that, man.
Yeah, like you said a while ago, you know, we were signed. We were like Run DMC, like we was talking about before. Run DMC was on that label.
Right.
Rob Bass, DJ Easy Rock, Special Ed. So it was a lot of different people on there. But like I said, you know, when Red Alert was playing the record, they heard it. They wanted to know who the artist was, and eventually went and talked to him, sat down with him. And they wanted to sign us for a single deal. I think they believed that's all we had was like, you know, that little one hitter quitter. You know what I mean? So they was like, all right, our single deal. Let's see how that go, and then we'll move from there. But when we started recording the other stuff and they was hearing it, you know, they was like, nah, you know, we want to sign them for, you know, you know, couple records, you know, so that's what happened with that. And record was blowing up. People was taking interest in Time to Say Peace and you know, Butt Naked Booty, and then we recorded Holy Intellect, Rock This Funky Joint, stuff like that. They was like, nah, these guys are serious, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how that went. I mean, you know, it sounded like boom, 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 but you know, it was a little bit more difficult because we had to get a lawyer, make sure they checked out the contract.
Okay.
And you know, to us it seemed like forever because we was like, yo, we was ready to be signed like right then and there, but they was like, nah, you gotta check it out and this, that, and that. And you know, it was kind of surreal, man. The way it was happening. You know, and it was like, is this really happening? Let me, you know.
Right.
So for us, it was just like, you know, let's see where it goes from here. You know, we didn't realize how big of a deal it was, but looking back, I guess it kind of was. You know what I mean? The people we were in the company, because I think King Son was on the same label.
Okay.
Sweet T,
Special Ed, I believe.
Yeah, Barrington Levy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, was Colonomite and Frighty. You know, so they had techno artists, they had reggae artists, you know, R&B artists. So, you know, it was just like, you know,
yeah.
one of those things. We was just like, we were just being ourselves. So, you know, looking back and seeing where hip hop is now, because that was a part of the whole golden era. You know, looking back now, we was like, man, maybe we should have recorded more. Maybe we should have, you took more pictures, you know, because we were just being ourselves. So we didn't see it.
Right.
I mean, it was a big deal, but not like, you know, our heads wasn't all blowing up like, you know, we superstars, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So that kind of a thing. So, but looking back, you know, it's like, okay, wow, you know, I guess we were kind of, you know, kind of ahead of our time at that point.
Word. Okay. Also, another thing that I always like about you guys is that a lot of your videos, man, you film right in Divine Land. And for those that don't know, that's Donnie Holmes Projects in Trenton, man. So was that intentional? Like, did you guys like you really wanted to like explain? You know what I mean? Like talk about, you know, shooting the videos around the way.
I think so. I mean, because, you know, you had NWA out at the time, and they was, you know, talking about Compton, and it was important to let people know where you was from. You know what I mean? Like you had Queensbridge, you know, and MC Shan and you know, KRS-One with the South Bronx. So people shouted out their area. You know what I mean? Where you're from, you want people to come in, because we thought Trenton was everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, especially during that time, you know, like Trenton, you know, we just as fly as anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So we cameras to come down and check out where we was from, you know, and that was definitely our intention. You know what I mean? When they was like, well, maybe we want to shoot a video here, and we was like, nah, because, you know, we wanted our people to be in it, and when they looked, you know, we wanted them to see themselves. You know what I mean? So it was important that shot most of our videos there. But then artistically, if Trenton didn't fit the background, or we didn't have the means in order to get the point of view, to get the point across, then obviously we would shoot some here, shoot some in other places. But mainly we wanted to give them Trenton, you know, we wanted, you know, our environment to reflect us and where we was from. So we would try to give them, you know, if you from Baltimore and you watching, it's like, man, this is what Trenton do. Then people like, man, I need to go down there and visit, you know. I think like Queen Latifah and, you know, her partner came down to visit, and they wanted to see. I remember Dapper Dan came, Dolly Holmes, he came down there chilling out, you know what I'm saying?
Did Jay-Z come to Trenton one time?
Oh, he was actually he was living down there at one point.
Right.
His boy was kind of living down there. So Trenton was like a hot spot, you know what I mean, for a lot of different things, for fashion, for hustlers, for a lot of things, you know, for music, you know, because you had Instant Funk and
Mm-hmm.
you had a lot made music and was doing music, you know, before us, you know, a lot of different gospel groups.
Word.
So Trenton, you know, Trenton had a little buzz going on, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's the whole Trenton makes the world takes thing.
No doubt.
So Trenton was definitely on the map. If you listen to Planet Rock, you know, he was like Trenton Rock, you don't stop. You know what I mean? So everybody, Trenton was a little hot spot.
Okay.
So we kind of helped to add to that, you know, whole flavor.
Definitely. Y'all definitely did, man. As I was mentioning earlier, I had YZ on the show a couple of weeks back. I know that was he was saying that you guys were signed to him at one time to Diversity Records.
Yeah, well, the whole diversity thing came about because Tony D and YZ, I think they had some kind of a production agreement or whatever, or like a production deal with each other.
Two Tone Productions or something like that.
So they had that, and then Diversity Record was another partner of YZ's. But
Okay.
I mean, like in detail how they were, you know, associated with one another. But so we shopped our stuff around locally to a lot of different people, and they were going to put the record out, but they were like, you know, sometime next summer. You know, we was already
Which
in
record?
that.
Which record are you talking about?
Tommy Say Peace.
Okay.
Yeah, they record out. You know, Tim was talking about it, and we didn't know Tim. We heard YZ on the radio and stuff like that. We didn't really know YZ like that, but somehow, you know, we got in contact with him. He came around one day. He pulled up in this little hoopty that he had, and he kind of rode around with him a little bit. And he was telling us, you know, about this and that, trying to school us to different things about, you know, the music game and all of that. Ended up at Tim's house, and Tim was like, yo, I'm gonna put your stuff out, but he was like, next summer. We was like, nah, we don't want to wait till next summer because the style that we was doing was different, you know what I mean? And we felt like, you know, the record had already been getting little play here and there, so we was like, I don't think it'll be, you know, so we was like, that's not the direction we want to go in, you know what I mean? And we had I think he paid to get our demo out the studio or something like that, so we you know, paid him back, and then we got our music back, and then we went on our way, you know what I mean? And we didn't feel that it was a good fit, you know. After kind of kicking it with him, talking with him, we was like, nah, because we felt it was too many conflicts of interest, you know what I mean?
Right.
Tone produced the music, him and YZ was partners. Then the record label, him and YZ was so we was like, it's just too. We was like, nah, that's not for us, you know what I'm saying? And at the you know what I mean? We thinking, man, they trying to jam us up, you know? It's too many hands and too many pots. You know, like nah, and found our own situation. You know, but you know, you got to think about it. At that time, nobody was really doing nothing. Nobody was really selling like no huge amount of records and all that. It was a bunch of kids with big dreams and aspirations to do things, and you know, we didn't look at it like, oh man, you know, we going to start our own record label in Trenton and we going to blow it up and we going to be the Master P or whoever, you know, Cash Money.
That wasn't even around yet. You know what I mean?
Like that. We was just thinking like, you know, we making records, I mean, and cutting our own demos. So we was like, nah, that situation don't fit for us. So we kind of went our own way. And, you know, that pretty much was it. I mean, it wasn't really not that much to it.
Okay.
You know, we decided, nah, that's not for us. And then I think Tim was like, you know, well, I need to get reimbursed for, you know, getting the demo out. So we, you know, we scraped up some dollars and paid him back for his studio time, and we just parted. You know what I mean? No hard feelings. I don't even know if he thought the record was going to be as big as it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
was
'cause
just
it was big.
people was just putting out records, you know, getting their feet wet.
Right. That's what's up. But as somebody back then, as somebody on the outside looking in as a fan, I just wish that the world could have got a PRT and YZ collab. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that could have been possible if, you know, we were kind of thinking like that at the time. But, you know, it was like we was from Trenton, and most of his crew, I guess the EST posse, they were from Heightstown, you know, and stuff like that. So we didn't know them like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It was just music, and you know, something was said on wax. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all was definitely going back and forth at each other, man. Like I know y'all first albums, y'all definitely had a few bars going back and forth, man.
Yeah, so why said a few things. He never put like a full blown like diss or full blown record. You know, he just said some things here and there. I think YZ made Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
Then we was like, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, no doubt.
but YZ,
Yeah.
shout out to YZ in this whole thing, because YZ was doing things in his own right. You know what I mean? YZ was a talented, you know,
No doubt. Salute to YZ, man.
Yeah, YZ, you know, in control of things and master plan.
Yeah.
So those records inspired us as well. You know, when we heard them, we was like, yo, that's dope. You know, they ain't from here, but they from the area, you know.
Right.
So we like, you know, we supported it. I mean, you know, wasn't like we was like YZ whacking out like that, you know. We was like, yo, those records made us want to make more music. You
Right.
know, but as far as us doing music together, I don't think it would have happened back then, because we didn't really click like that.
Okay.
It's just, you know, they had their thing, we had our thing, you know.
But y'all had the same producer though. Y'all shared, you know what I mean? Y'all shared producers though.
Yeah, you would have thought, but we never ended up in the studio. I think I went in the studio one time and kind of messed around with something with YZ, but we never, and I don't think it ever made its way out of the studio. But, you know, we didn't really hang out with Tony D like that. It was more so of, you know, artist producer kind of thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, later on, things kind of you know, kind of blew a little bit. Then, you know, we would, you know, see Tony a little bit more outside of the studio.
Right.
But it was just, you know, getting together, you know, sharing the thing that we all love, which was hip hop. You know what I mean? Because I recorded a few demos with Tony before PRT, and when I was with other folks, you know, and it was just like, you know, just for the sheer just pleasure of making music. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Tone would produce, like I said, for a lot of different people. So, you know, hear songs and be like, oh, Tone did that. Okay, that's dope. You know, but it wasn't like, you know, I got to get with them to, you know, we going to collab on this and that. We wasn't against it, but then again, it wasn't really, it just, the thought never crossed our mind that early in the game.
I feel you. Would have been dope though. I think it would have been real dope.
Yeah, Harvey Wallbanger actually happened that day in the studio. You know, that wasn't something to where we all had to be. You know, Tone was like, I mean, it happened almost how you hear the record happening.
Yeah,
like,
kind of spontaneous.
Yeah, it happened that day in the studio because Tone started playing the beat, and he was like, man, listen, I think Tone knew what he wanted to do, but we didn't know what he wanted to do, you know, because he was like, he had this beat, he was like, check this out. I think he had it already ready. Because he was, I think, I'm getting on this album.
Okay.
Because by then we had the deal. So had the joint. He was playing it. We was like, hey man, that's hard, you know. So we all just started. Harvey Wallbanger, Matt, you know. So I want y'all to come in my verse like this, because if you notice, with me and Y's verse, he's not really coming in our verse. But on his verse, we're a part of his verse.
Okay, and on the ad libs.
Yeah, he had it all figured out. You know.
Okay.
You know, so it just, you know, we had the lyrics already, so we was, and the beat was dope. So
then
we was like, man, you know, that's dope. We sat back, listened to it. And we was like, yeah, we putting that on there, you know. But Tony, he is a pioneer, man, in that area as far as being a, you know, beat maker, producer, DJ, because he would be DJing at a lot of the parties as well. You know what I mean? Like Lawrence Center, the Boys Club.
Yeah.
I think part of Duke Productions. You know what I mean? Him.
I remember Duke Productions.
Yeah, him, Boy the Wonder Boy, and all of them, and the Wonder Crew.
Okay.
So Tone was friends with him. I don't know if he was like in the Wonder Crew, but I know he was friends with them. So he would DJ sometimes. So Tone had a little name in the city for DJing and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. He produced a lot of people, man. Boulevard Mossy, you know, Suicide. I think he did some stuff with them. I don't know if he like did the whole track, but I know he was intricate in kind of helping them, you know, get their sound together and putting out stuff with them. So he had his hand, you know, when people know you got a formula, you know, they want to kind of get in the studio with you and see what you help them do, you know. So he probably was like the 45 king of Trent, the Trenton area.
I would say that. I would definitely say that. Word. So y'all went on to record, how many more albums did you guys drop? Was it about 4 more albums? Pure Poverty, Black Business, New World Order?
Yeah. Those are the 3 we released on a Profile. And then we actually had like a 5th album that we put out ourselves. It was called Independence. And it was just a combination of...
I remember that.
It was a combination of a lot of records that we was just recording in the meantime. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was dope.
Yeah.
You know, 4 altogether for Profile. We did 4 records. Okay.
So I know you guys have like been around the world twice, man. What's like out of all the places you've been, like what's like some of the best shows, like, you know, out of the country that you know what I mean, that you feel like you've received the most love at, man?
I think we let me see. I mean, we got a pretty warm reception in most of the places. I would say the most surprising place was like Munich, Germany. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We went over there and, you know, they were, you know, it was a lot of big PRT fans over there. And surprisingly, their history as far as hip hop was concerned, they knew a lot of, you know what I mean, a lot of the classics, you know, because they were selling records, throwing up tags, you know, doing and all that in the same show. You know what I'm saying? Like a big airplane hangar. You know what I mean? And they were selling clothes, you know, doing graffiti, selling old school records. You know what I mean? I was like, man, I ain't even seen it in America. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
It was dope how the culture itself had impact, you know, a whole nother country. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the fact bring us over and embrace what we was doing was kind of like, you know, like, wow, you know what I mean? They was in tune and in step with what was going on here. And this was before the internet, you know what I mean? So, you know, when we got a chance to see how the culture influenced other cultures, you know, you was like, man, you know, this thing is for real. So, you know, just going places like that, you know, you know, just different. Holland, you know, I mean, you know, like Holland.
I bet.
Yeah, so it was dope, man. You know.
That's what's up, man.
Like twice, we toured there twice. So, yeah.
All right. So, leading up to your, you know, what you recently put out, man, I feel like, man, like you a cat that give hope to like the OGs, man, that you know what I mean? Like I know you got like 20, 30 years in the game, man. What's like the energy force that made you you know come with this new music that you come with? Because I feel like you like a brand new artist. Like, you know, like you got videos all your songs? You got like you got your clothing line, Cult Free going on. Like, what was like the energy force behind like kind of like jump starting that and coming out as Culture Freedom? You know what I mean? This time without Poor Righteous Teachers.
I think it's just a love for the culture. You know what I'm saying? And plus, like when you in the group, and I think Wise would agree, in RIP Father Shaheed, because he was one of the dopest producers like ever. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he put a lot for people. So it's just, you can put only but so much of your energy into the group. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a democracy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a group effort. So whatever formula y'all use to make what you make, you don't want to stray away from it. You know what I mean? Because if it's too much of this person, you know what I mean, or too much of that person, then it's not the group. It's not what it was. So all that energy that he had as a solo artist, you know, I mean, or as things that he wanted to do in the group, he could now do outside of the group, and then, you know, vice versa. You know, there's things that I wanted to do that, you know, couldn't be done in the group per se. You know what I'm saying? Because people was used to a certain kind of chemistry. You know, like Wise, come on, he's rapping, me coming in and out, you know, harmonizing that. Shaheed, you know, DJing and doing this and that. So, you know, just seeing, you know, what other possibilities are there? You know what I mean? Like, what would Culture Freedom do if he did it this way or that? You know, I still collaborate with my man Neff 150.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, a producer. Okay.
Yeah, him, and did some joints with Frank Brown, Brown's Soul. You know what I mean? Him coming on, and just different artists that I wanted to work with, and there was different people Wise wanted to work with, but you couldn't put them on our record because PRT was Wise, Culture Freedom, and Father Shaheed. You know what I'm saying? And everything else like a collaborative effort. But so people that we wanted to work with, you know, now we got a chance to work with them and kind of help other people come along and get in the game and get some exposure for what they do. And at the same time, flex and exercise some of our other skills. You know what I mean? Because during the later records, you know, me and Shaheed was handling most of the production. You know,
really?
like
on what records you talking about? What albums?
Well, on Black Business.
Okay.
Tony D, that's when he, you know, Tony D produced a lot of songs on that one, but I produced None Contest. You know, he produced Get Off the Crack, Nobody Move, and 144K, you know, and stuff. Track. Yeah, so then on the New World Order, I produced the joint that we did with the Fuji.
Okay.
He produced God Service and 85ers.
Okay.
I produced For the Love of This. Shaheed produced the joint. What's that? The joint that Wise did with what's the guy named Nine? The one that him and Brother Jay was on, Guns and Knives. You know, so we and then we brought in other producers like DJ Clark Kent and the Supermen.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
they produced a couple joints. So, you know, we started to branch out a little bit more and work with other people, stuff like that. So I don't even think people know I was producing, you know what I mean? But
I didn't know.
Some people around the area, because I worked with a lot of the local artists. He was working with different artists. He produced a joint for Special Ed, some of the earlier 50 Cent stuff.
Really?
Yeah, he produced, I think, a joint for Destiny's Child before they kind of blew.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, he did the joint, the 18th Letter for Rakim.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think number 12 on the record. He did a 112 Anywhere remix.
Okay.
Yeah, so we was dabbling in, you know, we was trying to, you know, during the New World Order thing, it was kind of a coming out thing for me and Sha as far as producers.
Okay.
You know, Wise been doing things like, you know, because he had a solo record called
Yeah.
Killing You for. So, you know, he had opportunities to kind of show, like, you know, what it would sound like if he was just doing whatever, you know, and he was doing collaborations with different artists. So it was just, you know, we've always been doing it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just that, of course, the later records, we have more time to kind of flex like that. You
Okay.
know, so, I mean, with me too, with my pen, you know what I mean? It's, you know, I had people, you know, ask, they wanted to hear what my pen sound like, you know, other than what I was doing. So I'm now is, you know, a good time to kind of, you know, do that. You know?
Most definite. Most definite. We're not gonna have much time. You know, I'm sure you know IG is only
Oh yeah.
only for an hour. You know what I mean? I mean, if you know, it's not saying it yet, but I'm sure it's gonna be it's gonna be coming up soon. Somebody said you must be related to Ghostface. You know what? I always kind of looked at you like you were kind of like the Ghostface of PRT, man. I don't know. Ain't nobody ever told you that?
Man, I guess I got one of those faces. You know what I mean?
I thought you look like them also, like, you know, just your style, kind of like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, I think from the same era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, all from that same era. You
Yeah,
know,
like
the Clark.
said he was the muscle.
Well, you know, hey, I think we all was. You know what I mean? I just think it showed a little bit more, you know, and some of our characters. I think it's my stature has something to do with it, you know.
Right.
But you know,
all positive stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. That's my people. Bay in there, not Bay. Yeah.
Baye Kemet. Yeah.
He gonna be like, man, ain't no Baye Kemet. Yeah. That's my
It's all
man.
good. It's a lot of people in here from Trent tonight, man. I'm sure, bro. So I also, where are you located now? Like you're not in Jersey no more, right?
No, I'm in Tennessee. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
right
outside
of Nashville.
Okay. Is the hip hop scene? Was it like down there, man?
You know, it's you know, Young Buck is from this area.
Oh, okay. True.
Yeah,
Cashville.
it's a very live hip hop scene. You know, they got a lot of spots where, you know, like it's a joint called Mint for the Milk Crate where they play a lot of live stuff, boom bap, and all of that. So it's kind of is a variety of rap. You know, obviously the whole Southern bounce stuff is hitting down here too, and you know, and all of that. But there's still like a huge audience for, you know, boom bap.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Well, look, Coach, man, I want to thank you, man, once again, man, for coming on my podcast with me, man. You know, I don't know you like personally, man, but I feel like now I know a lot more about Culture Freedom and PRT, man. And as I said, I wanted to just like get the story out there, man, of the history of Trenton hip hop, man, because I feel like it's an important story that needs to be told, man. You know what I mean?
It's huge, and hopefully we can get it out there a lot more, man. A lot of unsung heroes, you know, that come up in the area, man, that inspired me and a lot of artists. I want to shout out Boulevard Mossy. Want to shout out Square. Want to shout out, you know, Suicide Posse. Want to shout out, you know what I mean, Word Life Records, Almighty K, Killer, everybody out there, man. One love. Yes,
sir. And well, I want to thank all my followers and all my subscribers, man. Don't forget to hit that like button, man, and keep on continuing to watch us, man. The Oddcast podcast. Like I said, Culture Freedom, man, it was a blessing, my brother, man. I definitely appreciate you for coming. Hopefully, I can get you to come back. Hopefully, I can get you and Wise to come back on here, man.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Will the world, I mean, you know, rest in peace to Father Shaheed, but will the world ever get another PRT album again, man, with you and Wise?
I'm not going to say never. You know, there's a possibility. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Possibility. I think it'll be even doper. You know what I'm saying? Especially
I think so, too.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I talk to Wise, you know, at least once a week, stuff like that. We text stuff back and forth. You know, he's busy, I'm busy, but I think it can happen. You know.
Yeah, I hope it will, man. One day, man. I hope you can bless us. But until that time, you guys left us with a long legacy of great music, man. Timeless music. And like I said, it will always be dear to me, man, because you guys are from my hometown, man. So you know what I mean. I want to just give enough blessings to you and your family, man. Culture Freedom, keep doing what you're doing, man. And you always have a home on the Oddcast podcast, my brother. Like I said, man.
Yeah, till we do it again, man. We're gonna do it again. Shout out to everybody. Shout out Scoop Ace Records.
Yes, sir.
Definitely an intricate part of what we was doing. DJ L, everybody over there, my man Mike Molest, all those. No respect.
Word. So that's it, man. Oddcast podcast. We signing off, y'all. Peace.